Guess who's back? James is back. Guess who's back? James is back. That is right. It feels so good to be back. It's week 9. I can't remember the last time I was here. 7, 3, 2. Either way, it's Halloween. And that means this is the Halloween special of JaMar Cup Live. In honor of Halloween, I'm drinking a Halloween beer. You'd like to know what it is? Let me tell you. Schlafly. Scott, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Schlafly. Schlafly Pumpkin Ale. Apparently it can only be bought in Iowa City, so I'm going to enjoy it. Excuse me. Yeah, it's Halloween. This is my outfit. That's all you get. Nothing's for free around here. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed Scott's preview, or my preview from Scott. Either way, I'm not really sure about Scott because 2 things, 2 pictures, one here, one here. Scott, either you have a really cool roommate or she has no idea what you're into, because those 2 vaginas on your wall are kind of creepy. Just saying. Now I know I've been gone for a while, but let's get into it. Let's just get right into the meat. First off, we have my matchup. The Commish at 3-5 versus All Day 3-5 also. It's been a rough year. Again. I mean, I did everything right this year. I didn't screw anybody at the draft. Maybe I did. I don't know. The trades went through just fine. I said, nope, I'm not going to do it this year. But I'm 3-5. I got Brandon Marshall, sucks. Sean McCoy, he's garbage. So if anybody wants to send me a trade offer, I'm open. Now this could be the first of many elimination games. There's 2 this week for sure. Probably the loser of this one has got a good shot at not going to the playoffs this year. So I'm sure hoping it's not me. We got Zach. Nope, it's reverse. That's mine. Who writes this script? Honestly, I've been gone for 2 weeks and shit goes to whatever. The fans. So we got James's team. It's basically going to come down to LaShawn McCoy and Vernon Davis. Can you guys give me anything? Anything at all? I mean, Vernon's projected for 2. McCoy's projected for 8. And those are my high projections for the week. So I'm basically rolling that I'm under projected and Zach's over projected. That's what I'm going with. And if I can get any points from anybody else, I mean, just hobble out on your crutches and catch a pass for a yard. That'd be great, honestly. But I'm going up against Zach, and he's rolling out both Jets receivers, so I feel like that's a joke in itself. Jets receivers. I mean, Percy is a good pickup, but he doesn't know anything about the offense. And Eric Deckers, well, I'm worried more about reality TV than he is catching touchdowns or running routes. So I'm hoping this is my week, because the next week I get Brad, who has 5 guys on bye. So I'm planning on being 500 in the next 2 weeks. So you guys look out. I'm coming. I'm back. Guess who's back? Oh, is this distracting? Fine. I'll cover up just a little bit. This is a classy show, after all. So next we have Snit Squad, 5-3, versus You Can't See Me, the aforementioned Brad, at 4-4. Now Brandon keeps rolling out that roster. You know, it looks good, it looks bad. I don't know. I can't figure it out yet. You know, you got Dez going this week. You got Terrence Williams going this week. Is Romo even going to go this week? That's what it's going to come down to. Excuse me. See, you leave for 2 weeks and you forget how to do these things. So anyway, you got Romo. That's what your matchup's going to hinge on, is Tony Romo. You got both Cowboys receivers going. And you got Vincent Jackson. I can't believe you still even have that guy in your roster, Brandon. Get your shit together. Kick him out. Oh, sorry. Kick him out. As far as Brad, this is going to be the worst 2 weeks of your life. Next week you have 5 guys on bye. This week you have Aaron Rodgers. Who are you going to replace him with? I've been looking at the waiver wire. There's nobody out there. Alex Smith. It's going against the Jets. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. But then you're going to roll out A.J. Green. You know, he is back. So, I mean, you got to play him. But then you run into the same dilemma Joe has had the last few weeks. Is he going to be a decoy, or are they going to use him? So, is it going to be Sanu, or are they actually going to throw to A.J. Green? It's very questionable. And I also want to give you a little insider information, Brad. Rashad Jennings is out this week. Replace him. I'll tell you tomorrow at the party again, but get Rashad Jennings out. He's not going to score any points. So I see this as the start of Brad's downhill slide. It's going to be the first year you're not going to make the playoffs, Brad. Mark it. Week 9. 6 minutes in on October 31st. Mark it. We'll come back to that. Whew, excuse me. This beer is good. I'll even read the label to you here while we have to take a second. It says, I would rather sit on a pumpkin and have it all to myself than be crowded on a velvet cushion. Sounds like something Scott would have put into a weekly preview, so I'll try to edit that out later. Next we have Joe, who's been quite amusing with his name changes this year. Now, I feel like I should misread it so that it sounds better, but Michael Sam's Ditka at 4-4. Ridgeway, do you get it? It's just a joke. It's just a joke. Anyway, Joe's going up against Something Clever here, also at 4-4. You know, this isn't quite an elimination game just yet, but it could go a long way in determining playoffs later on. Now, Joe's going to roll out both Indianapolis running backs for the second week in a row. Not really sure how I feel about that, Joe. You know, last week they did score 10 points apiece. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you got to do it, you got to do it, you know. It's a little risk. Then I also want to call you out on starting Dwayne Bowe. If you ask Mario from last year, and then whatever idiot had him the year before, Dwayne Bowe should not even be drafted in 20-team leagues, let alone this one. I don't even remember the last time Dwayne Bowe's caught a pass, which is a good poll question. Last time Dwayne Bowe caught a pass. I'll give 50 cents to the person who answers that the quickest. Oh, over here, over here. Yeah, yes, you in the hat. You. Amazingly good-looking man with glasses. 5 o'clock shadow. And your chest meat hanging all out. Me? Oh, it was last week. It's alright. You win. Anyway, You're going up against Jason, the new guy, 4-4. Now the biggest question for Jason this week is, who is going to replace Giovanni Bernard? Now the usual consistent running back has been rather inconsistent the last few weeks. He gets 4 points a couple weeks ago, and then last week, yeah, he got a touchdown, but it's just not that 150 yards, touchdown, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just not what you're accustomed to, Jason. So good luck replacing him. It's going to be tough. And then I also noticed that you are rolling pretty heavy with the San Diego Chargers. I don't know if anybody's told you, but Miami's pretty decent at home. Their defense is, they're not great. They're not Seattle at home, but, you know, they're decent. But you're going to roll out Rivers, which he's a must-start every week. But then Keenan Allen and Michael Floyd. That's right, Michael Floyd. I remember looking at that earlier. Michael Floyd. Oh, my mistake. Malcolm Floyd. Mario, do you remember that guy? Malcolm Floyd? Yeah. That's what Jason's rolling out. Malcolm Floyd. That was supposed to be a little more dramatic than it was, but whatever. Moving on, we've got Matt. The aforementioned, it's just a joke. Brad, you still don't get it, do you? I'll tell you tomorrow. At 3-5 versus Taste the Rainbow, also at 3-5. Now this is another must-win for either of these fellows, gentlemen, guys. Anything other questionable sexual orientation names we should throw out. Somebody's got to win it. And the loser's probably going to go home. Or the loser is going to be tied with Zach for the lead. Something that resembles this. I don't know. I mean, if Scott would post his picture, we could see what it looks like. Scott said he destroyed it. Apparently it broke on the car ride home. Either that or his roommate found it, and who knows what happened. But anyway, Matt's rolling out Peyton, as usual. Cool. I mean, you got to do it, right? But then you're rolling out your JV squad. Or your varsity squad. They're just JV caliber. Now I know you tried to come back with some fancy smack talk. Oh yeah, Alshon Jeffrey. I'd hate to have him on my team. Shane Vereen, yeah, I'll just look at his 3 points a week. I mean, come on, Matt. I caught it. It was like halfway out of my mouth, and I threw it back in. I about said, really? Yeah, that word's back. I'll keep it locked up. I mean, your smack talk just, I mean, it threw me for a loop here. I mean, there's nothing I could say. It's garbage. Alshon Jeffrey hasn't been consistent at all this year. Shane Vereen, it's not quite the breakout explosive player that you thought he was going to be. Whatever. I don't even know who else is on your team. Some guy you picked up off the waiver wire because he scored 3 points last week. Good job. But you're going up against Mario, who underperforms again. Oh, he doesn't underperform. You're right. That's a good call, Mario. After looking at the standings, it appears that Mario doesn't underperform. He just gets bent over by everyone having their best weeks ever. Now, me personally, I think it's because Drew Brees is just not the same as he once was. Yeah, I mean, he's getting 18, 19, 20 points a week, but that's just not the Drew Brees Mario's counting on. He needs like 30 to 35. He's got a good start this week, but I don't know. I could see Peyton throwing for like 8 touchdowns just to rub it in, just to be like, ha ha ha, see, I can do it. I told you. I'm going to get it this year because I'm Peyton Manning. However, Mario does have some good running back matchups. He's got Marshawn going against the Raiders and Ben Tate going against whoever. I mean, they're pretty good matchups. It's just, can they take advantage of it? However, on the flip side, you're starting Bobby Rainey and James Jones. The Oakland James Jones, who are at Seattle James Jones. Just saying. I know I'm just saying, but I'm just saying that I'm just saying. You got it? It's good. I mean, you got to win, I guess, so put them out there. You lose and go home. I mean, you'll be at home anyway watching the game, but you get what I'm saying. You go home. Yeah, you go home. And finally, we've got the Dong Shank Redemption at the confusing 7-1 versus Owen Hu at very astounding 4-4. I just don't get it. Scott's been projected for 180 points a week since God knows when. Now all of a sudden he's projected for 90? Couldn't have done that last week? Jerk. So, he's finally fallen back to earth. Then he's going against Kyle, who has been, he's been better this year, apparently. I mean, this could be the week that he falls back. Scott's projections are coming down. Kyle's got that false sense of confidence. But I could see Scott coming out with 30 points from some random French guy. Moncrief or Garçon. I mean, it sounds like a French pastry shop owned by Moncrief and Garçon. Ha ha ha. But, I mean, just like every week, they'll probably score 30 points, and Scott will end up with 150, 160, on pace to break the all-time season point record for this league, which is held, I mean, I know you guys never paid attention to stats, but I've got them all written down. At least the ones that I'm winning. So we got Kyle, who is going up against Scott of the French pastry fame, where Kyle's rolling out the law firm of Thomas and Smith. It's very interesting how both of them are on the same team. He's got the Thomas brothers on one team and the Smith brothers on the other team. Now, one of these weeks, Kyle, having both Smiths play is going to bite you. Now, having both Thomas brothers, that's a good play. It's actually working for you. But I digress. I mean, I guess I can't smack talk here because I got worked by both of you somehow. Demaryius Thomas gets 3 touchdowns. That's cool. Scott, I'm ahead 60-5, and Arian Foster 40 points later. I guess we shouldn't make fun of you, Scott, because that was actually a good pick with number 7 overall. Pains me to do that, but whatever. You go back to your vagina paintings and do what you do. So, we hope everybody has a good week. Have a good week, I suppose. I mean, we'll see you on the other side. Because the rest of you suckers, I'm coming. I'm coming. Play hard this week, Mario. I'll be rooting for you. Don't joke around. Matt's nothing to play with. Yeah, I mean, inside joke, right? You guys have a good week. Catch you next time. Later.